All right, guys. So these are your instructions for the research portion of this assignment. Remember, our big question here is how are people affected by the region that they live in? So as you research everything today, I want you kind of thinking through that lens or through that filter as you are recording information about, let's say, the landscape of the Cordillera. I want you thinking, how are people affected by this specific thing that I'm writing down? So um, you'll see some examples in here when we go over the organizer. But if you are writing down, one of their important natural resources in this region is their many, many lush forests. So they've got these great forests in there. I want you thinking as you write that down and making note of this as well is how are people affected by this? What effect does this have on people? So something that you might talk about are, well, the jobs that it provides in forestry, right? Because we have now this natural resource of trees, and people are able to have jobs, and there's industry that's created by that. You might also think about, okay, we've got all these great forests. That also leads to us having some opportunities for recreation. We've got national parks and provincial parks within these great forests. So that's how I want you thinking as you are recording this information is does this affect the people in this region? So here we've got our map of the regions of Canada. One of these has been assigned to you. And here's our specific instructions. And so this is what I talk about here, in that we want to think about how does each of these things affect the people in the region. And thinking about the jobs and industries, the impact on lifestyle and recreation, how does it impact quality of life? And so as you're doing these jot notes, I would recommend doing this step on paper and then uploading your notes to the slides below. I always find that when I do this in class with students are generally more effective at taking jot notes from research when they do it on a sheet of paper as opposed to just typing it digitally. There's something about the using that method of recording material that we're finding is just it just is a little bit better in terms of actually remembering what you're writing down. So that would be my preference. If that really doesn't work for you and you want to do it digitally, that's totally up to you. But that's my recommendation. If you click on this link here, it is going to open up another document that is an organizer for your research. And so you'll see there's multiple pages here with landforms, natural resources, etc. And so this is what I'm suggesting that you use to take your jot notes. And so my recommendation would be to print this and then fill this in, or use just a separate sheet of paper, copy down this chart, and record your jot notes that way. If you want to make a copy of this and then edit directly on here, you can, but I wouldn't recommend doing it that way. There's a limited number of boxes on here, and so don't feel limited to this. If you find more information than there are boxes in here, then just keep going, add some more, add another table, or just flip over your sheet and work on the back, but don't feel limited by the amount of squares in that chart there. Excuse me. You're then going to upload your jot notes to the slides below once you have finished those jot notes. So that could either be in a picture or a link. And so we'll just skip past the purple slides here. These purple slides are the resources. We'll go back and talk about those. But you're going to put the name of your region here, and then this is where you're going to put your jot notes. So whether that is taking a picture of this once you've done this on paper and then uploading it in here, and that's just so that I can kind of check in and see how your notes are coming. Okay, so that's where all of your information is going to go once you have taken your jot notes. We'll kind of go back up here and talk about these purple slides here. So the purple slides are all the links that you can use to get information. If you want to look at other places as well, you can definitely do this, but you should be able to finish this project with the resources that I've given you. But don't feel like you only have to use these. I would say great starting point. If you want to go further, see what else you can find out there. So you'll see textbook readings right here. So each of these is a link to the PDF version of a textbook that talks about the region and all the things that we're trying to find out here. And then you have some other readings as well too. These are different than the textbook here, but a PDF as well. This website here I'll talk about. Mr. Polsky, he has a website that kind of goes over some of the different regions. So if you click on his website here, and you can click on each one of these regions here to find more information there. Going down to the videos here, there's a couple region overviews that kind of talk about all of the different regions. So you just need to find the part that talks about your region. And then there are some video tours here. This kind of goes back to that Mr. Polsky website. So if you look for this right here on the video, or on the Mr. Polsky website, so that's right here underneath the map, you'll see that there are links to the different provinces. So as we've talked about before, these regions are not separated exactly by their province, right? And so if you click on this, for example, the Arctic region under Northwest Territories, it's going to take you to a YouTube page here that has some different videos just on the Northwest Territories. And so this is, again, someone's website that they've made, and these are videos that they think kind of capture this. So I haven't had a chance to go through and look at every single video that's listed in here, because most of them are playlists for a larger amount of videos. But kind of what I mentioned in the slideshow is that these videos are going to give you a good kind of just like visual overview or understanding of what these are. You might not find like specific information that you're taking in as your jot notes. You might not. I don't necessarily know, but this will kind of give you some good visuals of what does this region look like, and that'll help you with some of the landscape stuff. And then there is another page of videos as well too. This is what I have found so far. If I find other ones, I will add them to the list, and you'll be able to access those. But this is kind of what I've found on each region at the moment. So like I said, you don't have to feel bound to only using these. I would say start here. If you come to me and tell me that you can't find any information on your region, I'm not going to believe you, because these are pretty specific, especially if you look at the readings here, pretty specific in what we're looking for. So that is a little bit long-winded. I feel like I went longer than I wanted to, but that should be a pretty good overview, I'm hoping, for what you are working on today. So a big idea is you are making jot notes about these topics: landforms, natural resources, climate, major cities, and then another slide for other information. But you're making notes, jot notes on all of these, and you're kind of always thinking about how does this affect people as you are writing down these different jot notes. Okay, so all the best on this project. Always reach out if you need some help, or if you're not sure what to do. Okay, have a great day.